Good morning, Holistretch family. Welcome to a hamstring opener video. I hope you're doing well. Maybe hamstring is a little bit tight. Hi, my name is Frances Eve. Please subscribe to the channel now if you'd like to learn more hamstring videos. This is actually part 2 of a part 3 series. So we're going to go ahead and start on the hands and knees. You want to give yourself just a couple cat-cows to connect in with your breath. Inhale, rounding up. Exhale, down. And the second time you inhale, go ahead and pull the left leg in front. We're going to come to a low lunge. Very good. In beginning all of the exercises, you want to find your alignment first. So the knee is over the heel and the knee is in alignment with the hip. We're going to go ahead and flex the top foot, the front foot, so that you get elongated in the back of the leg. Go ahead and contract the right quads behind you and just lift that knee up just to get the contraction. Now that you feel contracted in the muscles, the hamstrings in the front should be contracted, the quad in the back, we're going to go ahead and bring the hips back. So as the hips come back, you want to keep that front leg contracted, meaning you're squeezing those hamstring muscles to pull yourself forward. This is kind of a seesaw feeling where you release just a little bit to get the hips to come back, and then you pull yourself forward with those leg muscles. And this will open up the hip flexors on the right side inevitably, but we do want to focus on opening the hamstrings on the left side. You'll find that every time you come back, there's a little bit of an opening behind the knee. And you may also feel this in the calf and the left hip also. We're going to come down. We want to do this a few times just to warm up into this leg, opening it up gently, slowly. This is really good for warm-ups and also for cool downs too. If you like to go a little deeper, bring the hands up on the hips. This gives you a little bit more leverage and therefore a little bit more weight. Same thing, bending forward, contracting the left hamstrings, pulling with the heel of the foot down into the ground to lift up. So you're sort of pulling forward with the heel, and then you're pushing down into the ground as the hips come to lift up. Very good. Connecting with your breath. We'll sink down here and then come to straighten the leg even further. So keeping that foot nice and flexed. Yes, you get a nice stretch behind the ankle. We come forward and then see if you can straighten it just a little deeper. Now I do want you to take note that the spine should be straight as you come forward and back. Keep the spine elongated. Inhale, coming forward, and exhale back. Keeping that left hamstring totally contracted. Squeezing it in. Pulling it in with the heel, leading with the heel, and then pushing the heel down to come back. Yes. So it might take a little bit of practice to learn this resistance stretch, but resistance stretching is the most effective stretch you can do to open up your muscles. Keep the alignment here as you straighten your spine. We're going to pull forward, keeping the arms straight. And then drop your hands wherever you're at. We'll come forward to bend, straighten, and find the elongation, find the alignment. Yes. Exhale, kicking to straight. So each time you should notice that your leg gets just a little bit straighter as you come forward. Exhale, out. And if your leg isn't straight yet, no worries. I mean, this is probably like my 500th time doing this stretch, so so be patient with yourself. Okay, let's come to straighten the leg, find the alignment. You can bring the hands on the hips. We're going to keep the spine nice and straight as we fold forward. Folding forward on the exhale, inhale, kicking down to the mat to lift up. Exhale, kicking down into the mat to lift up. Feeling the opening of the hamstrings as you come down every single time. If your leg isn't straight, it's okay. You can keep it bent. I just want you to feel the stretch of the hamstring. After you've done a few of those, you want to come down. See if you've noticed any more flexibility. Even if you don't feel that you're super flexible, I do want you to notice if you've moved even just a few centimeters, because then you'll notice the effectiveness of the resistance stretch. Go and drop your head for this stretch. Feel the opening in the left leg. Every little millimeter counts when it comes to stretching, so don't be too hard on yourself. Follow the protocol. Do part 1, 2, and 3. And you should get nice, flexible hamstrings if you keep it up. Go ahead and stretch that leg straight. Sit back on the back leg and lengthen. Go ahead and point your toes to create a longer leg here. Nice deep breaths. Getting to the flexibility point that you want is patience. It is kindness. It is self-love, but only if you're patient with yourself, only if you allow yourself to take all the time that you need. Good, let's shake it out with a little cat-cow, and then we'll switch sides. All right, let's work on the right leg. We'll start with a couple cat-cows, rounding the spine, getting ready to bring the right leg in front for that low lunge. All right, so same thing. We're going to find that alignment first, knee over heel, knee in alignment with the hip, and then lift up that back knee just to contract the quad, feel the alignment in the hips, and then bring it back down. We're going to flex that front foot and we're going to pull into the mat to bring the hips forward, and then keep pulling forward as the hips come back. You're going to feel that resistance in the hamstring. Every time you come back, you're opening up a little bit more. Every time you come forward, you're toning. So the amazing thing about resistance stretching also is that not only are you stretching your hamstrings, but you're also toning them. Good. Come forward, opening up even on the left hip flexor, and then back. I'm going to feel the strength of the hamstring pulling forward. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands on your knees and then your hands to your waist, just to lift up at the torso, or you could stay down right where you are. Forward and back, each time getting a little bit more length, flexing that front foot. Good job. Sometimes it's hard to find your balance here. And if it is hard to find your balance here, then don't worry about pushing yourself too much. I want you to find your balance before you come up to your hips. And now down, come back. We're going to straighten the leg now, keeping it flexed, feeling the stretch in the calf, and come forward. Straighten back and forward. Amazing. So notice with these stretches, you can always do a little bit more and you can always do a little bit less. So just always go to your next challenge point. Don't go too far ahead and don't stay in the same place. You always want to challenge yourself a little bit, dropping the head, getting a nice stretch. And so for these ones, the challenge is to lift up the torso, get a little bit more weight, a little heaviness on the top to apply to the hamstring. And if it's too hard, stay down here. We're going to keep the foot flexed and lengthen at the spine. You can bring the arms in front of you to measure, and then drop them back down and release. Keeping the legs straight, we're going to lift up and fold forward, folding at the hip. Good. Lifting up and folding forward. You've got it. If you've made it this far, congratulations. These are not easy, actually, but they are the most effective hamstring stretches that I know of. So if you are consistent with these stretches, you will have flexibility in your hamstrings in no time. Lengthen and point the foot and work your way down, melt it down. Good job. Tuck in the core muscles around the spine, drop the head. Nice deep breaths in here. Congratulate yourself for your hard work. You're almost done. Good. Sit back on that back leg. Keep the front leg stretched out. And you can try it pointed and try it flexed. I want you to feel the difference between the pointed and the flexed. It just gets different parts of your leg. And if you want a little more, then please feel free to check out the hamstring 3 or the hamstring 1 if you haven't yet. Good job, everyone. Stay flexible and feel free.